Before you seek a solution, you must first understand the problem. Consider our modern education systems, specifically those in Australia, the US and the UK. Results from the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment, or PISA, show that 15-year-old students in Australia are behind the top-performing OECD countries in reading, mathematics and science. China and Singapore scored significantly higher in reading than all other countries that participated. Estonia, Canada, Finland and Ireland were the highest performing OECD countries in reading. Australia and the UK were above the OECD average in the three areas. In the US, students performed slightly above the OECD average in science and reading, but fell below that average for mathematics. In the UK, while students performed around the average in mathematics and reading and above average in science, there has been no obvious improvement when compared to their 2006, 2009 and 2012 results. The good news is that improving education is not all about the volume of resources. For example, Estonia and Latvia's investment in primary and lower secondary education is similar. Yet, Estonia scored more than 40 points above Latvia in reading. Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States all spend more per student from age 6 to 15. Yet they scored no better than Canada, Ireland and New Zealand, all of which spend between 10% and 30% less. The results are similar when it comes to the relationship between spending per student and the impact of social background on reading performance. In other words, the countries spending more do not necessarily show a weaker relationship between students' socioeconomic status and their performance. Among OECD nations, the US is one of the highest spenders on education. The UK also spends more than average on education, while Australia's public expenditure on education relative to GDP is below the OECD average. So, regardless of the level of spending on education, student performance is still well below optimum. And in all three countries, socioeconomically disadvantaged students are less likely to succeed at school than their more advantaged peers. Yet the education systems in the US, the UK and Australia are held in high regard globally, ranking highly as popular destinations for international students among OECD nations. Which makes you wonder how much the entire world would benefit if these three countries could unlock the door to improving education. Now, we just have to find that key. The PISA report suggests that beyond a certain level of expenditure per student, excellence in education requires more than just money. High-performing school systems tend to allocate resources more equitably across socioeconomically advantaged and disadvantaged schools. Schools with more accountability or greater teacher-principal collaboration tend to perform better. Acting on these findings will require robust tools that compile data on each student and translate that information into insights that power informed decision-making. Good news is, you don't need multiple tools to accomplish this. You just need one. Virtuoso, a fully integrated learning enablement platform that is changing the way students learn. Not by requiring more funds, but by leveraging existing data to make informed decisions that support customised learning strategies and individualised education programs for each student. It's time to revolutionise education as we know it, to improve outcomes for all students. It can be done, and it starts here. Explore the virtues of Virtuoso by visiting virtuoso.singleview.com.